Welcome back to my cooking channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Christina and I put out videos every Saturday. So if you want to get notified for when I post, hit subscribe. So today we are going to be making macaroons. You choose. I'm really excited because I've never made them before, so hopefully they turn out good. Question of the day, what is your favorite thing to bake? Mine would probably have to be snickerdoodles because they're so easy and they're so good, and not to brag, but mine always turn out pretty great, so yeah. Okay, but enough of this chit chat, let's get into making the cookies.
Okay, so the first thing I did was mix powdered sugar, almond flour, and salt, and I put it all in a blender. I actually didn't have powdered sugar, so I just converted regular sugar into powdered sugar by just grinding it in the blender. But anyway, I added the almond flour, and one thing that I remembered is that I hate almond flour and it's really terrible. And so as you see me right now, I'm sifting the flour and the powdered sugar. But almond flour is super thick and annoying, so it took me about an hour to do this. So I didn't film all of it, obviously, but yeah, I just sifted it into it, and that's just what I'm doing right here. So after that long activity, I moved on to the wet ingredients, and the recipe called for 3 eggs, and it told me to separate the whites from the yolks, so that's just what I'm doing right now, and I'm using clean hands, obviously, and yeah, I'm just separating them. Then I added some salt to the eggs and I mixed it until it was light and frothy like the recipe said, and then I added some sugar little by little to make sure it was really mixed in well.
I finally got the stiff peak for the meringue. It took me like a half hour. They said you could flip it over and it wouldn't fall out if you did it right. Ah, oh my gosh! Guys, on all seriousness, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to bake. Oh my gosh.
So continuing on with the recipe, I added vanilla extract and mixed that in, and then I added 2 drops of red food dye. I didn't have pink, so I just used red, and then I mixed all that in, and then once that all was combined, I added a little bit of the dry ingredients and folded it all in, and then kept adding it until it was completely mixed in. Next, it was time to add the mixture into a piping tube, so that's just what I'm doing right here, and I'm getting ready to pipe the cookies. So the recipe told me to put a dot in each corner of the pan so that the parchment paper could stick to it and that it wouldn't slide while I was piping the cookies. And so I did just that, and then of course I added the parchment paper. And then I started piping the cookies, which is my favorite part, and I don't know why it's so fun and so satisfying, but yeah, that's just what I'm doing right here. What I'm just describing right here is that I had to drop the tray, and that was really loud, so I didn't want you guys to hear that. But basically after I finished piping all the cookies, they were going to set for 30 to 60 minutes. Little did I know it was going to be for 2 hours. So after I finished that, I decided that I was going to clean up my area and just wait for the cookies to set, but I realized I had a lot of filling and mixture left, so I was like, okay, I need to add 2 more trays. So that's just what I'm doing right here. I'm cutting out more parchment paper and sticking it to 2 more pans, and I'm just filling the piping tube with it and just piping all the cookies on top of it. I actually wasn't sure if I wanted to put all 3 trays in at once or just one at a time, and so I was kind of just thinking about that while I was doing this. Okay, so I didn't really show it, but I put the first batch in the oven and they came out pretty good. They don't exactly look like the perfect macaroons you see in the pictures, but they came out pretty decent, so I'm okay with them. And this is when they are completely cooling and drying off, because that's what I need to do before I put the filling on it. So yeah, this is all 31 cookies that I made. They look actually pretty good. I'm proud of myself. Okay, now it was time for the buttercream filling, which is my favorite part. I just added 1 cup of butter and then I mixed that in until it was light and fluffy, and then I added the powdered sugar and I sifted it into the bowl and just kept mixing it until it was all well combined, and then I added the vanilla and the heavy cream and mixed everything else into it until it was pretty well mixed. So the last step was just to add the filling into the piping tube and pipe the cookies. This part was my favorite part and it was really fun to do, so I'm really glad I got to do it. And my brother actually wanted to join in, and so I just helped him kind of, you know, do a couple of cookies. But yeah, it turned out pretty well, and all you have to do is just pipe a little bit of the icing in the middle and just squish the two together, and then you got yourself a macaron. So here's what they look like after they're all done being piped, I guess. They look pretty good actually, and even though they don't really look like macaroons, whatever you want to call them, I think I did a pretty good job, and they kind of look like mini Krabby Patties, just saying. Even though these are done, it says to kind of put it in an airtight container for 24 hours, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow and then they'll be ready, finally. Okay, so it's been 24 hours and I'm ready to try them now. I'm so excited. Whoa, these are good. They're a bit too sugary for me, but they're actually really soft, and I think they would be this soft. This is good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making them, but it was a little frustrating at times, but you know, trial and error type thing. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember to follow me on all my social media, and of course, always remember to stay strong. Bye!